Have you ever felt like your life is just this rugged, empty landscape? Well, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to trace that profound journey from feeling utterly empty to attaining a vibrant, spiritually renewed life. We are exploring how to completely transform that inner wilderness.
Our whole explainer today is grounded in this incredible text, The Fiery Spirit by Fr Tadros Malaty. And what this book shows us is how ancient Orthodox theology offers some really practical solutions for our modern struggles. Emptiness, distraction, all those heavy burdens of daily life. It's a framework not just for coping, but for total inner renewal.
So here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, the Holy Spirit's power. 2, companionship and protection. 3, the flaming heart explained. 4, wisdom in daily life. And 5, the spiritual growth path. Let's get into it.
Now, this journey is completely grounded in the rich, time-tested tradition of Coptic Orthodox wisdom. It actually bridges these ancient icons and centuries of deep theological thought right to the daily reality of our modern spiritual battles. So this isn't just theory, right? It's literally a tested survival guide for the soul.
Part 1. The Holy Spirit's power. Creating a beautiful world.
Look at this contrast of the human heart. On the left, we've got our default state of chaos, enslaved to desires, feeling utterly void. But here's the thing. God absolutely refuses to leave us in this desolate state. Just like at the dawn of creation, the Spirit's power hovers over our hearts to create a newly ordered, beautiful spiritual world inside us. It grants us what the text actually calls dove's eyes of holy love. How amazing is that?
To really anchor this idea, the author brings in the heavy-hitting wisdom of St. Macarius the Great. And this quote reminds us that this transformational power, it's fundamentally about restoring our original, pure nature. It's not about turning you into some completely different person. It's about returning you to that glorious, joyful state you were originally designed for in the first place.
Moving on to Part 2, Companionship and Protection, the Pillar of Cloud and Fire.
Okay. It is absolutely fascinating that the text points out the Greek root for spiritual power is actually derived from dynamite. I mean, think about that. This isn't just some passive energy. It's a dynamic, divine force capable of completely shattering solid sin. Yet, at the exact same time, it acts as this fierce, active protection. It shields us like a cooling cloud during the harsh heat of our daily struggles, and then guides us like a pillar of fire through our darkest nights.
And notice how beautifully St. John Saba describes this divine companionship. It's definitely not some abstract theology that just lives in textbooks. He describes it as a deeply internal aroma and a sweetness that actually mingles with your entire being. It quite literally changes how you experience the world, from the inside out.
Here we are at Part 3. The Flaming Heart explained. Becoming a blessed flame.
So, what exactly is the flaming heart? Well, its definitive power isn't achieved by our own striving, or stressing out, or overworking ourselves. Actually, it is planted by God to turn us into a consuming fire of love. And when you have this heart, you don't just survive. You actively warm the callous hearts of the people around you, and you confront sin so powerfully that the abrasive thorns of life are reduced to absolutely nothing. It's a real game changer. Now, this idea of fire isn't a new concept at all. Throughout biblical history, God consistently uses literal and metaphorical fire to empower his people during their darkest, most impossible moments. Just look at the timeline. He confirms a covenant with Abraham using a burning torch. He anoints Moses from an unconsumed burning bush. He answers Elijah by raining fire onto a water-soaked altar, and even answers David's deep depression with heavenly fire. The spirit of fire is basically the ultimate answer to human limitation.
St. Anthony the Great perfectly captures why this matters for you and me right now. The flaming heart literally changes our perception of difficult spiritual struggles. The things that usually feel like a total chore, fatigue, fasting, solitude, giving to others, they are suddenly transformed into something sweeter than honey. The fire literally changes our very appetite.
Part 4. Wisdom in Daily Life. The School of Suffering.
The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that while human wisdom relies on having perfect conditions, divine wisdom actually thrives in the school of suffering. Think about it. Whether you are wrongly imprisoned and isolated like Joseph, dealing with a personal limitation like Moses' speech impediment, or even just trying to learn a complex new skill like Bezalel the stoneworker, the Spirit provides a specific, practical wisdom that human logic simply cannot offer. It completely bypasses our human limitations.
And finally, Part 5, the spiritual growth path.
enjoying constant renewal.
Okay, so the author gives us these incredibly direct, practical steps to ensure continuous renewal in our own lives on this spiritual growth path. Step 1, shift your focus outward by praying for others individually by name, especially the people who annoy you. I know, that's a tough one. Step 2, actively look after your friends and invite them to experience church life. Step 3, substitute typical presence with spiritual books to actually assist others in their struggles. And step 4, don't wait for some grand setting. Actively rejoice in the Lord right within the confinement of your own home. It's really all about practical, outward-focused love.
But we also have to be on guard against some major spiritual roadblocks. Beware of comparing your gifts to others, because that will just breed envy and destroy you. And furthermore, do not waste your own gifts through empty formalities. That's exactly what King Saul did in the Old Testament, and he completely lost his secret inner fellowship with God. We really have to guard against just going on autopilot.
St. Didymus the Blind summarizes this entire journey perfectly right here. He says our growth, our wisdom, and our transformation completely rely on intentionally acquiring the Holy Spirit. You see, you can't just try to be good or wise all on your own. You have to go straight to the source of all these gifts.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, provocative thought based on Fr Tadros Malaty's teachings. Take a look at your own life. Are you ready to clear away the inner chaos, build that altar in your heart, and finally allow the fiery spirit to pull you from an empty wilderness into a blazing, purposeful life of constant renewal? The dynamite is waiting. The choice is yours.